Welcome to YouTube channel Marketing by Vijay. In this video, I am going to discuss about what is marketing. This is the first question which comes to your mind whenever we discuss marketing. Marketing as a term is widely used in the management of business and in our day-to-day life. That's why marketing is very important. If we go back into the history, then we find the existence of marketing in the beginning of the civilization. It all started with the barter system, when the buyers and sellers exchanged their goods and services. Marketing as a topic first appeared in the first half of the 20th century with reference to distribution. The process of distribution and the determination of price through the demand and supply paved the way for studies in marketing. That's why economics is known as the mother of marketing. Marketing is a very simple term to understand, but most of the time we get confused. Once I ask my students what is marketing, then most of the time the answers come in terms of, say, promotions or selling or sales or any kind of advertising. All these efforts are called marketing. But is that marketing, or marketing is something more than that? That is the question. The simplest way to understand what is marketing is to identify and meet the needs of the consumers. Now, as a marketeer, what are you supposed to do? As a marketeer, you try to identify the needs of the customers and you need to fulfill the needs of the customers. If you can identify and fulfill the needs of the customers in a better way, you are a good marketeer. So it is very simple in that way. You just need to identify and meet the needs of the consumer. Now, once we talk about the identifying and meeting the needs of the consumer, a company may fulfill your unmet needs as well as met needs. Because what happens if you are getting into some kind of new product category, or if you are getting into some kind of new service category, then you are trying to fulfill the unmet needs. But there are several product categories and there are several services categories where the products and services are already existing. It means you are going to fulfill the needs which are already met by the various companies. So most of the time you will be finding that many companies go for identifying and fulfilling the met needs, and only few companies will go for identifying and fulfilling the unmet needs. And that is the difference between a good company and a great company. Good companies will always fulfill the met needs, while the great companies will fulfill the met needs as well as unmet needs. You think about Apple, you think about Google, you think about Reliance, you think about Tata, you think about Birla, okay? You think about Wikipedia, you think about Facebook, you think about Twitter. What all these companies are trying to do? These companies are trying to fulfill your met needs as well as unmet needs. And that's why these companies are very successful all across the world. In India also, you find the existence of so many companies. We are doing a great job. If you talk about PVR, if you talk about Mahindra, if you talk about Tata, all are equally successful by fulfilling the needs of the consumers. And this is the simplest way to understand marketing. Now, if you go further, then you find that there is a definition given by Philip Kotler. Philip Kotler says marketing is all about CCD VTP. Now, what is that? CCD VTP. Now, there are 6 terms which have been utilized in this definition. So, he talks about creating, communicating, delivering value to the target market for profit. The definition given by Philip Kotler is very simple. He says marketing is all about creating, communicating, delivering value to the target market for profit. And here he is talking about the profitability part, because the objective of business is making profits. Okay, now here the question comes, once you identify and fulfill the needs, and that's what Philip Kotler has talked in terms of value. Now the question comes, what do you mean by value? Value is all about benefits and costs. If you are buying a product or if you are buying a service, you need to pay a lot of money. Once you pay money, that becomes your cost. And once you pay up that money, then you expect certain things in return. You expect certain benefits out of return, and that becomes your benefit. So value is all about cost versus benefit. If you are getting benefits more than your costs, then you are successful marketeer. So that's what Philip Kotler has said. And the most definitive definition comes from the American Marketing Association regarding marketing. American Marketing Association defines marketing as the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay updated. Thank you.